From Washington, this is VOA News. I'm Steve Miller reporting. Britain is preparing for a snap parliamentary election Thursday. Henry Ridgwell reports how security has upended Brexit as a key issue.
London is adapting to the threat. Soft targets are being strengthened. Barriers separate traffic lanes and sidewalks on bridges, offering protection from vehicle attacks. But beyond physical defences, how can Britain protect itself? That question is at the forefront as the country prepares to go to the polls.
I will look at giving more powers to the police and the security service, longer sentences for terrorist-related offences, dealing with this issue of the internet and ensuring there's no safe space online for terrorists.
The government is pressuring websites like YouTube to police content more rigorously. Critics say the roots of extremism stem from ideologies within Islam itself and must be confronted. Henry Ridgwell for VOA News, London.
French Interior Minister Gérard Collomb said Tuesday the man who attacked a Paris police officer with a hammer at the Notre Dame Cathedral shouted, "It's for Syria." Collomb told reporters outside the cathedral an identification card was found on the attacker and indicated he was an Algerian student. The French prosecutor's office said that its counterterrorism unit has launched an investigation into the attack. Collomb said the assailant also possessed kitchen knives, an indication of a trend from very sophisticated acts of terrorism to whatever tools or instruments the assailants can find. Collomb said the policeman attacked was in stable condition, and authorities believe that the attacker acted on his own. This is VOA. U.S.-backed Syrian rebels on Tuesday announced they have launched the long-awaited assault on the Islamic State-held Syrian city of Raqqa. The Syrian Democratic Forces, an alliance of Kurdish militia and Arab fighters, have been driving Islamic State fighters from positions across northern Syria for the past year, backed by a U.S.-led coalition. Syria analyst David Lesh says the assault on the city, just 90 kilometers from the Turkish border, is fraught with many challenges.
There are so many landmines, figurative landmines, to navigate in this assault on Raqqa because of the mixture of forces, because of the nature of the Syrian Democratic Forces, i.e. the Kurdish component, and of course U.S.-Turkish relations and Turkey's interests in that area, northern Syria, in addition to Russia and of course the Syrian regime, which just retook a city of its own west of Raqqa.
Lieutenant General Steve Townsend, who commands the U.S.-led coalition fighting Islamic State in Syria and Iraq, said the battle for Raqqa will be long and difficult, but will deliver a decisive blow to Islamic State's claim of holding a physical caliphate, according to the coalition statement. U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson said President Donald Trump has asked him to push ahead with efforts to rebuild the U.S. relationship with Russia and not let the political turmoil surrounding the ongoing investigations impede him. Tillerson said he had no direct knowledge and couldn't comment on the Russia investigations or their effect on the Trump administration. He said the president has asked him to remain focused on rebuilding trust with Moscow, which he said is at a low point. U.S. State Department spokeswoman Heather Nauert further expanded.
The president asked the secretary to begin a re-engagement process with Russia to first stabilize that relationship and look for areas where we can cooperate together. An example of that includes ISIS.
However, she said that in areas where the United States does not agree with Russia, the U.S. will continue to stand up for its interests, its values, and the values of its partners. The White House says President Donald Trump and Saudi King Salman bin Abdulaziz Al Saud spoke via telephone, and the two stressed the need for Gulf unity following a decision by Arab states in the region to cut ties with Qatar. A statement issued late Tuesday said the two discussed the critical goals of preventing the financing of terrorist organizations and eliminating the promotion of extremism by any nation in the region. Earlier in the day, the president entered the diplomatic spat involving Qatar and major Arab nations over Doha's alleged support of Iran and Islamist militant groups sponsored in the region. I'm Steve Miller in Washington.
That's the latest world news from VOA.